Good morning. We meet again. So this is going to be on my home turf. I've been in Ohio for quite a while this summer, and I am going to go to Cleveland for the day. So I am in line right now to get some coffee at the local coffee place in Willard. And I think for some of you, this might be your first time meeting my car, Vivian. So say hello, Vivian.
Hello.
I didn't know she could talk. So I've got lots of stuff on the agenda for today. The culmination will be tonight at 7 when I hear the Cleveland Orchestra play Saint-Saëns Organ Symphony, which I am really excited about. So there's going to be some familiar things that I do today and some new things that I do today and lots of coffee that I drink today, which is why I have the dark colored shirt, because inevitably I always spill the coffee on my shirt. So stay tuned. So I just got to Cleveland, and we're going to start with someplace I've never been before, which is the aquarium. And so we're in a neighborhood called the Flats, which is right next to the Cuyahoga River, which is just right over there. And then this is in an old repurposed, I believe, factory. So we're gonna go in and check it out. One of my favorite part of these small aquariums are the local exhibits. I think that those are a ton of fun. I love to learn. Already, I had no idea that we had endangered turtles in Ohio, so that's super cool. So we will go see what this place has to offer.
Right over here, we're going to be seeing a lot of really colorful fish. These are going to be fish found in the coral reef. So as we're looking at
Hey, guess what? The shark was chasing after me.
Unexpected. So the aquarium was a hoot. I'm now at the Cuyahoga, looking at downtown CBD. So our next stop will be up on the bridge, the West Side Market, which is a fan favorite, and a bunch of other stuff. Yay! So unfortunately, my next stop was closed. I was going to go to the West Side Market, which is just over there. But on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I guess it's closed. Insider tip. So instead, we've come to the next stop that I had, controversial. The statues, bum bum bum. They're called the Guardians of Traffic, and they're on the bridge that goes from on Carnegie Avenue that carries it from Ohio City over here into downtown over there. And they are controversial because these are the namesake for the Cleveland Guardians, the baseball team. Met with a lot of sort of apprehension, but I think also controversial. I think they're really cool because they are a bit of a local icon. And how cool is that? So there's sentinels basically welcoming you into Cleveland, and there's a set of them. So there's some over there, and then on either side. So yeah, I think it's really cool. This neighborhood has changed so much. I'm now in Ohio City. I've parked over there, and behind me is a sea of millennial gray, and gentrification has taken over the area for sure. I've been coming here for, I don't know, maybe 15 or 20 years. And this neighborhood used to be much different. A lot of this was either sort of vacant parking lots and shit like that, but it has now become really high-end apartments, condos, all of that stuff. Ohio City itself, one of the main commercial thoroughfares is up here on 25th. It has changed a lot as well. There used to be some really quirky stores. A lot of it, I think, has switched into some high-end stuff. So my next stop is going to be a bookstore that has a cafe that has apparently moved. And it's a place I've never been before, so I'm excited to see what it happens. But this is why we are paying for these really expensive views, because you look just across the river straight into downtown. You can see all the activities that happen over there. Uh-oh, it's a spotted lanternfly. You know what to do. Not on my watch. So we'll start here, but then I'll move along because I'm right at the intersection and it's really busy. But this is the West Side Market. On an open day, this is going to be bustling with people. Right here are all the fruit vendors. This goes from this end and it goes up here. It takes a 90-degree turn to the left. There's also some flower vendors in here as well. On the inside, though, is my favorite part. Because of Cleveland's long history with immigration, there were some really, really interesting populations that ended up being settled in Cleveland. So there's a huge number of people from Central Europe, from Eastern Europe. So I think that Cleveland has some of the largest populations from places like Hungary and Slovakia, Slovenia. So that means that the food is very representative of that sort of background. And another sort of hot tip for the West Side Market is that get here early, because the Hungarian bakeries, they sell out of the poppy seed strudel very, very, very early. So that is probably my favorite thing to eat from here. There are, I think, 3 bakeries on the inside that actually sell it, and it is some of the best stuff I've ever eaten. There's a really good place that sells fresh noodles. There are a couple of cheesemongers. I believe that there's a couple of fishmongers, lots of butchers. There's also a really, really good gourmet popcorn store, so you could spend lots of time in there. A couple of restaurants in there. Also, another insider tip, if you go to the front corner on the left side, closest to the intersection with Carnegie and 25th, there is a little stairwell. It'll take you up onto a tiny little mezzanine that overlooks the entire market, and it is super cool up there. It's one of my favorite places to just sit and watch people. Yeah, so very, very cool. Really sad that I couldn't get there today. So I was just up there. You can see the Guardians right there. But now we have made our way back down to the river, and I am a sucker for these signs, especially when there's this old industrial heritage. So we probably are familiar with the fact that Cleveland used to be an industrial powerhouse, particularly with things like steel making. And the Cuyahoga is one of the reasons that happened, is because it's at the junction of like the coal that's being produced in Appalachia, and then the iron that was being shipped in from Minnesota. And so it all came to sort of a head here. And there were moments where Cleveland was probably the wealthiest place in the United States. And it's super easy to pick on Cleveland for this old industrial heritage, because famously the Cuyahoga River caught on fire, not once, but multiple times. And one of the cool things about that is often unsung from that particular story is the fact that that is what helped inspire the Clean Water Act of 1960 in the 1960s, because people were looking around and asking, why is that a thing that's happening? We should not be letting our bodies of water catch on fire. And so that completely changes the sort of course of environmental history in the United States. Very cool. One of those cool little unexpected surprises. I just had lunch at a bookstore. It's called Visible Voices Bookstore. They got this little performance space, this cool upstairs atrium, and then the bookstore is down here. Very cool. Highly recommend. 10 out of 10. So we have transitioned to a new neighborhood. I'm in University Heights. This is where the concert is at Severance Hall down the street. Right now I'm at the Art Museum. There's also the Botanical Gardens, Natural History Museum, the Western Reserve Historical Society. All of that good stuff is here. This is absolutely one of my favorite spaces in Cleveland. They redid this entire atrium. So over here is the little cafe, the bookstore. But then you flip around and you're greeted with this gorgeous atrium. I just love this. It just is so good. To get here, you have to take Martin Luther King, which is home to the Cultural Gardens. So basically all those immigrant groups that I was talking about earlier, they each get a little spot, and then they do something, and basically it's a little statue of their national hero with a flag and things like that. I used to love the stuffing out of that when I was a little kid. I would drive down there on my way to other things, and you would just go by and it'd be like Serbia, Lithuania, Latvia, whoever. I have noticed, though, that they have started to increase the diversity. So it starts with Vietnam. I noticed that they've added Colombia, Ethiopia. So lots of really cool stuff has been added. Yeah. So I've paid for parking for 3 hours. But this is free, as all museums should be. I've got just a couple of targets. My absolute favorite thing in this museum, and I'm not usually this type of guy, but my absolute favorite thing in this museum is just on this hallway over here. And it is a Fabergé anteater. The last time I was here, it was not on display. So fingers crossed that it's there. Terrible news. It's not here. These are the only animals that they have. Where did you go, anteater? We're merely an hour away from the show, and I have made my way to the reception area for Severance Hall. One of those beautiful old concert halls done in the Egyptian theme, obviously. Fabulous. And just out these doors, I've been told that there is a little reception with cocktails. Let's go see what we can find. Holy shit, look at the detail. Sorry, you probably just got seasick. So here we are in beautiful Severance Hall, waiting. Look at that gorgeous ceiling. Oh my God. I think the last time I was in here, I was listening to a Beethoven Mass, maybe. Missa Solemnis. Is that Beethoven? Maybe that's Mozart. I think it's Beethoven. I should be in an amazing spot for the organ. Let's find out where the organ pipes are. I found them. So just a little bit of raw reaction immediately after. We just had a standing ovation. 5,000 people, completely sold out. Sorry, I'm trying not to get these folks in the picture. Respect their privacy. I haven't heard live music since before COVID. So this is the first time in 6 years that I have heard live music. And holy shit, I am in an absolute disaster. I did not hydrate enough. I've been crying for almost 2 hours. I am spent. I need to go home and hydrate. That was absolutely outrageous. That organist just knocked it out of the park. The four hands on the piano were crazy. The orchestra, really some of the loudest music I've heard from an orchestra in a long time. Just outstanding. Holy shit.